Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. With that said, on with the video. Okay, so this news might rub people the wrong way. People are probably not going to like this article or this quote I'm reading from Simon Bennett about a possible crossover with Dino Fury or other characters returning. People aren't going to like this news, but I'm going to break it down and give you my thoughts and a bunch of other replies which kind of make it make sense as you read it. So, No Pink Spandex is quoting an interview that Simon Bennett did with Inverse, and I'm not going to read the entire Inverse article because it's a lot of stuff I've covered in the past before, like people asking the same questions, such as the challenges of filming Dino Fury and stuff like that, and his thoughts on working on Beast Morphers and stuff like that. A lot of people have been doing interviews with Simon Bennett, and they've been pretty good. Like, Illuminati did one, Chris Canada did one. I recommend you guys checking them out in the nearby future because they are really good interviews. Well, check them out now after you watch this video because they're really good interviews and they ask the hard-hitting questions. So, let's read this quote about Dino Fury possibly not getting a team up. So, special thanks to No Pink Spandex for finding the quote that is the title of today's video, or the main subject of today's video, so let's read it. According to Simon Bennett in an interview with Inverse, do not expect any actors from past seasons to be flown into New Zealand for an appearance on Power Rangers Dino Fury. Not every PR season has a team up, so will Dino Fury be added to that list? Can production get creative? So, let's read the quote from Simon Bennett. If we want to bring back a character, are the actors available? In a COVID environment, our New Zealand borders are closed, and it was a challenge to bring in the core Ranger actors for Dino Fury into the country. We had to get a special exemption from the government. I covered that on the channel as well. So to bring people casually in for 2 or 3 days of shooting is impossible. They would have to go for a 2-week quarantine at the border, and even if we get an government exemption, it's unlikely. So, I totally understand what Simon is saying here. So, if they want to get someone like, I don't know, we'll use Brennan for an example. Brennan Mahia, the Red Dino Charge Ranger. Say, if they want to get Brennan there, Brennan would have to be flown in from the US. They would have to get an exemption to get him to film. And if Brennan lands in New Zealand, he has to do quarantine for 2 weeks to film roughly to like 2 or 3 days of filming a couple of episodes of Power Rangers. So what Simon is saying, it's not worth the trouble of how the world is right now to get actors for a cameo. And I know that's going to rub people the wrong way. Like, a lot of people are going to be upset about that. But I totally understand where he's coming from. I mean, when they film episodes of Power Rangers, it's like 1 or 2 days of filming, and with how the world is right now, they'd have to go through quarantine for like roughly about 2 weeks. And would that be worth it to film like 2 days of filming, flying across the world, you get back, you do another couple of weeks of quarantine? I don't think it would be worth it, to be honest, and I can understand where Simon is coming from. So, there's another bit of the article that's really interesting where someone said they spoke with Glenn McGillen today. I don't know who that is, but they said there's an open bubble between Australia and New Zealand, so there could be some Disney Rangers returning. Probably not likely, but one can hope. That could happen because there is like a short bubble between Australia and New Zealand where they're not too far away. So that could happen. And then there's an article of the quarantine travel-free bubble with Australia for early 2021. New Zealanders are allowed to travel to most part of Australia without isolating, but have to quarantine for 2 weeks coming back. Australians are not allowed into New Zealand. Okay, so that kind of debunks that. But I can understand, like I said, I can understand where Simon's coming from, where you don't want to have those actors being flown in and then they get quarantined and then they have to film for 2 days and then fly back. Like, I mentioned that in my video. But if Dino Fury doesn't do a team up, it's not the end of the world for me. Like, I know a lot of people want to see what happens to Scrozzle and stuff like that. I want to see what happens to Scrozzle too, but I don't think Dino Fury needs like a team up. Like, well, I would love a team up, but I don't think it's going to get one in this day and age. Like, I'm fine with Dino Fury sort of being like a legacy season and get references like Beast Morphers did with the Ranger Vault and the weapons and stuff like that. I'm fine if it gets like references like that in the season, or little like winks and nods to past seasons. I'm fine with that if they do that, but I don't think we'll get actors from like Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, MMPR showing up in this season. Now, they could have suited actors and have voiceover roles in the show, but I think that would be cool, but it won't be as special as seeing like someone like Austin St. John or JDF on screen being a mentor and stuff like that. I think people want to see the physical actors in the crossovers. Like, suit appearances are cool, but it's more special to see the actor live in the flesh interacting with the other Rangers. Because then we would probably be getting another Clash of the Red Rangers situation where the Ranger has to be morphed for the entire special and he can't take off their helmet due to like the environment or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the excuse they made for Scott not taking off his helmet in that special, but it was mostly due to union reasons and stuff like that. But what are your guys' thoughts on this update on Dino Fury possibly not having a crossover in the nearby future? It does suck for a lot of people, but I can understand where they're coming from. Like, in this day and age, where we are in the world, it like I said earlier, it's not worth flying them out to get them quarantined for 2 weeks and then film like 2 or 3 days of filming and then they go home, and you know what I'm saying. But tell me what your guys' thoughts on this news is. I'd love to hear it. But before we wrap up this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications if you're new, and like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys around. Special thanks to No Pink Spandex and Inverse for having this on the screen for me to read. I'll see you guys later in the next video. Peace out, take care, and have a wonderful day or night. Bye!